What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Phil, and welcome back to another video. So, Gavan Infinity just had their own press conference revealing the actors who are going to appear in the show. So, if you wanna see who these actors are, what characters they're gonna be playing, I'm gonna put a link down in the description where I posted screen caps from the actual live stream, which is still available on YouTube, but might not be available to some regions. So if you wanna watch that live stream, it's only about a half an hour long, but yeah, it's basically available to Japan. So if you want to see it, you might want to get a VPN or something. So, anyways, I have posted the screenshots at least of the actors who are going to appear in the show, and the kind of characters that they're gonna play, like I've said earlier. So again, you want to see all of those, link is down in the description. So let's get to it. Now I'm actually looking at the website, and my actual post, so so I can read things to you. So first off, so we have our main character. So his name is Deiji Doki. Now, Deiji Doki is again our main character. He is going to transform into Gavan Infinity using the angry Emol gear, and it's said that he can travel through other dimensions. So this is probably how he will meet the other Gavins from other universes. So yes, again, it is established actually way before that every Gavin that we are going to meet exist in their own universe, and there's only one of them again in each universe. So Gavan Infinity is the only Gavan in his universe. So would be Bushido, and so would be Luminous. I'll get to the other two later. So Deiji Doki is going to be played by Kohei Nagata. Yeah, I'm reading things here. So Deiji Doki. So interestingly, the names of the characters or our main, our Gavins. So their names have elements of what they are going to transform into. So given that Neji is going to transform using the anger emo gear, obviously the name Deiji, while it is Japanese, does sound like the English word rage. You know, given that, again, he transforms using the anger emo gear, which makes sense. So, again, I'm gonna see, or I would expect Deiji to be not necessarily like that angry hothead, but he can be, you know, but he's definitely like the fiery type, which is kind of typical of Red Rangers from Super Sentai. So I'm gonna talk about the characters per universe. So in this case, I have mentioned Reiji first. So I'm gonna talk about the other characters who are existing in his universe. And next up, we have Daisuke Date. So Daisuke and Deiji were fellow cadets in the the Space Police Academy, and now they are partners. So he's one of the support characters for Deiji's universe. So Daisuke Date is going to be played by sorry, I'm gonna move my camera so I can read stuff. There we go. So Arihiro Matsunaga. There we go. So again, uh, so Daisuke is like the support, or navigator, you could say, for Deiji. But we also have another support character in the form of Agi. So Agi is actually like an artificial intelligence android. So Daisuke created her so that they can have another support when necessary, I guess. So the actress who plays Agi is Kohana Arisaka. So there we go. So we have like our first female character introduced, and there is actually another character in Deiji's universe. So we have Dikia Wanibuchi, played by uh, Hirohito Yasuda. So he also actually was another cadet that, uh, like, how do you say? So he was also a fellow cadet with Deiji and Daisuke, but he is an elite member of the Space Police. So is he going to transform into another space police? I don't know. But again, like Gavan only, there's only one Gavan that exists. So I don't know. Although he is said to be like an elite member, like he is kind of portrayed as this laid back guy. But yeah, so he's often seen with a robot like being called Patran. So Patran is actually an alien, according to the press conference, but we'll get to that later. So, anyways, so these are the characters that exist in Reiji's universe. Actually, another aspect of the show, like I mentioned just now, so there are different universes or multiverses, and Gavan Infinity gives them their own original term called the Cosmo Layer. So I think the name Cosmo Layer is cool. You know, uh, like Marvel and DC call them the multiverse, but in Gavan Infinity they have an original name. So now let's go on to a different universe with Gavan Bushido. So Gavan Bushido will be played by Ryuga Akahane. So, uh, so the character of Gavan Bushido, aka Setsuna Aikokuin. So, uh, Setsuna is our Gavan Bushido, again transforming with the Sadness Emo gear. So, in his name alone, so we can infer that his name is also derived from like the emotion of sadness. First of all, like Setsuna sounds like the term setsunai, which is an adjective that refers to anything that's sad. So another aspect of his name, so is surname Aikokuin, which is a really rare name. So the first kanji that is read as I is also another kanji for sadness. So yeah, but he's not like the crybaby type. No, 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 no. He is rather like the silent type. You know, like I guess a lot of Blue Ranger tropes in Super Sentai, like they have like this cool silent guy. But yeah, that's his deal. So another interesting aspect about Setsuna is that he was like an artificially made human. So you could say he's a clone of some sorts. So there was some sort of like basis for him, or there was someone that he was modeled after. So as we might see from the trailers and even before, right? So Gavan Bushido's uh, signature fighting style like involves sword play. So we do see him carry like a wooden sword all the time. And yeah, he uses like dual Gavarian blades, which is his thing. So next up, so we have his support character. So we have, so we have, so we have Rui Amau. So Rui Amau is played by Anna Iriyama, and she is Setsuna's commanding officer. Like she's his boss basically. However, an interesting thing about Rui is that uh, she is said to look like a woman who met uh, like Setsuna's model human long ago. So they have this some sort of like connection from past. Who knows, like reincarnation or something. I don't know, but it was an interesting aspect for them to mention. So for now, we only have two characters from Setsuna's universe. Now we are moving on to Gavan Luminous. So we have Kokona Sumi, who plays Kiki Iwai. So of course this is our like female lead uh, for all intents and purposes. So she transforms into Gavan Luminous using the Happy Emolgear, and Iwai, so her family name Iwai is the kanji Iwau or Iwa, yeah, which means celebrate. So again, something that's happy. And the first kanji in Kiki, so by itself is Yorokobi. Again, another uh, kanji that translates into happiness, given her again like emolgear, right? So again, each Gavin's name is connected to their respective emolgears. So uh, Kiki is a forensics expert, so she's good at investigating, but she does have a habit of focusing too much on anything that that sparks her interest. So if she's very interested in something, she might get too focused and lose track of everything else. However, we have someone who does keep her in check from time to time. So so, we have Kotobuki Takanari. There we go. So again, as I'm reading my actual post, so Kotobuki is going to be played by Rana Tanida. So what is interesting about Gavin Luminous now, a few days before the actual press conference or cast reveal live stream, so the official Gavin Infinity page, or like any other Toei related page that released Gavin Infinity news, so they released posters of like the characters, particularly the Gavins. So we have, for example, um, Deiji, so like he's holding his police badge. Of course, the faces weren't shown yet. And then the second picture released after that was of Setsuna holding his wooden sword. And what is interesting about Gavin Luminous is that there were two people in the picture. So one of them, of course, is Kiki, and the other one is Kotobuki. So the poster for Gavin Luminous had two people in it. So many people have been wondering, are there going to be two Gavin Luminouses? So this is an interesting aspect, but according to, the actual press release when the cast was revealed, it is Kiki who's going to transform into Gavin Luminous. However, if we are going to think about this, it may be possible that Kotobuki might step in from time to time. Let's say, for example, when if Kiki is too focused on like investigating something and like enemies are around, and like she is needed to fight, but again she is too distracted or too focused on something that she's interested in, so Kotobuki might step in and turn into Gavin Luminous again from time to time. So, which is an interesting concept. So, they might share the role of Gavin Luminous, but for all intents and purposes, Kiki is the main user of the Gavin Luminous armor. Now, Kotobuki is said to be adept at combat as well, so she is, for all intents and purposes, the better fighter of the two, if that makes sense. So Kiki and Kotobuki are like best friends since high school, so which is really interesting. So these are the characters from Gavin Luminous's universe. So the next character that I'm going to introduce is Karel Com Wiglis. So this universe has their own version of Commander Com from the original Gavin. So Yuta Hiraoka will play this character. So again, he is like basically the leader of the Space Police Force. But considering things, I might say that he belongs to Deiji's universe. I mean, considering that Deiji is the main character. So now, I will go into the voice actors for Gavan Infinity. So there are three that were revealed. So first off, now I mentioned earlier, so the character named Patorang who looks like a robot but is actually an alien. So again, he is Dikia Wanibuchi's partner, and they both exist in Deiji's universe. So the voice actor for Patorang is Takehito Koyasu. That Dio Brando. So yes, Dio Brando is going to voice this character. Now, the thing is, so uh, according to the press conference, this is Takehito Koyasu's first time working in a tokusatsu project, which is very interesting. So, is he going to use the Dio Brando voice, or is he going to use the Mula Flaga voice from Gundam Seed? Which is also one of his more well-known characters. And speaking of which, like I did mention Gundam anyways, so we have Toshihiko Seki, who will be the voice of the Gavarian Trigger and the Cosmo Gavarian. Well, they're the same thing. So, uh, speaking of Gundam, Toshihiko Seki played Duo Maxwell in Gundam Wing. But if you are a Tokusatsu fan, then you should know this voice actor because he was the voice of Momotaro from Kamen Rider Den-O. So he's back to Toei Tokusatsu, this time in a different franchise, Project Red. So I am confident in what he brings to the table. So there is, however, something said about like Toshihiko Seki, and it's said, well, he is the voice of the Gavarian Trigger or Cosmo Gavarian. So they say that he's going to play a bigger role in the series much later. But we'll see about that. That's all that they've said. Okay. And next we have Ayako Kawasumi, who is the voice of the Emerald Gears, and she's also the narrator of the show. So there we have it. Now, we also have the theme song. So Love is the Strongest. So the singer Main is going to perform this song. Now, a lot of anime fans might know her as Cheryl Nome from the Macross franchise. So yeah, if you're a fan of Macross, then probably you're gonna love this theme song as well. So those were the cast members revealed for Gavan Infinity. Now, I would say I am excited to see at least like two of the actors in the show. So first off, let me talk about the Rui Amau. So I'm excited to see Rui Amau because so the actress who plays her, Anna Iriyama, was a member of AKB48, and she was really one of the more popular ones back in her day. And I am really excited to see her in a Toei Tokusatsu. Like, I've always, loved like seeing when like two of my fandoms like kind of like cross in between. So of course she's not the only member of AKB48 who has been in Toei Tokusatsu. Like for example, Tomomi Itano and Tomomi Kasai, again, who were both popular members of AKB48 during their day. So you might remember them as Queen and Elizabeth from Kamen Rider Double. So that's just a couple of examples there, but there are many. There are some other members that have appeared in Tokusatsu in general. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And it took me some time to like realize or I guess check, but apparently I have seen like Koharu. I'm sorry, Kokonasumi. There we go. So Kokonasumi, who plays Gavan Luminous. So I have seen her in a different drama before, I just didn't recognize her. So the name of the drama was Arisanchi no Iroribata. Iroribata. So it was a drama that I've seen like about a year ago actually. So what is interesting about this drama is that the lead stars were Ryuga Sato and Fumika Baba. Actually, Fumika Baba is the main character of the show. So these two actors that I've mentioned, so Ryuga Sato is familiar to tokusatsu fans for playing Keiwa Sakurai, aka Kamen Rider Tycoon in Kamen Rider Geats. And Fumika Baba had her big break through Kamen Rider Drive by playing the character Medic. So again, Kokona Sumi had worked with other Toei Tokusatsu veterans in this drama, and now she herself gets to be in one. So again, I just didn't recognize her because she had much shorter hair, and yeah, so again, I'm glad to see her again, this time in a Toei Tokusatsu. So yeah, I am going to be very excited in watching Gavan Infinity. Of course, not only for the cast, but considering that they have this element of like interdimensional travel through the Cosmo layer, it may be possible that they'd meet another Gavan in the future whom we might be more familiar with. Again, I'm excited to see if Toei does that, but I don't know. I'm just gonna wait until the show is out. So again, Gavan Infinity airs on February 15th, 2026, Sunday, 9:30 a.m. on TV Asahi, replacing number one Sentai Go Juger. So there we have it, our cast for Gavan Infinity. Again, if you want to see all the pictures, the link is down in the description below. So, are you excited to see Gavan Infinity? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you next time. Bye.